just setting up a few things here. OBS and Discord. So let's see if I go live. Share screen. Video. No. Okay. Right, so I left off with the dudes that I've mostly UV'd, and I was trying to figure out why Blender's UV stuff is kind of weird. Like, I mean, these are welded, right? But the faces aren't like acting welded. Edges are fine. As soon as you go into that face mode, they separate. And I think it's something to do with this means you can kind of move it, but then setting the threshold for this. Yeah, I've no idea. Anyway, I've got decent UVs. I've probably got some overlap, so I'm going to just select overlap and have a look to see what these are. And yeah, it's the thumb parts. Now I'm thinking I could just choose these and then turn that off and just like detach and move them, but that doesn't give me, at least I don't think it does, it doesn't give me the seam mark that I need. So I'm going to choose the edge and I'm just going to make sure that I've marked that seam. Now, this is just so cumbersome to me, but it's the only way I know how to do it right now. Unwrap. Okay, I want to select overlaps. There's another one there. Okay, what have I got here? Okay, I just missed an edge. So mark seam, and then unwrap, select overlaps, and we've got no overlaps. Now what we don't have is very good edge padding between the islands, so let's Google that. So there's a Pack Islands window. But it doesn't give us any options. So by default, the margin between it is very small. To change it, bring up the tools palette in the 3D view by pressing T. T? Again, I'll need to search for Blender 2.9 packed UV islands, distance, margin, padding, etc. I guess it must be this one. I'm really struggling to see any solution for Blender packing or something. Let's see. Tool shelf options. There is no tool shelf options, UV options. UV editing, I've got So the only real way to do this is to choose that and do more, so up arrow. But that then doesn't restrict itself to the island. Making it really difficult to use this. It's a bit silly, really. It can't select. So outdated. Heavily. What's this? Merge center and measure distance. Right, we definitely want that scale thing, but we've done that already. And pack islands gives us no option for packing distance, so I need Blender 2.9 packing options. Where the hell are they? UV packing options. Let's see, we've got a video on this.
UV mapping and unwrapping is the process of skinning your 3D object onto a 2 of our shader node. This will allow to do that mesh accordingly.
Seriously, just skimmed the whole UV unwrapping thing. Completely skimmed it first. Then straight into the shader. Most of it's the shader. That's sucky. Oh my god. And that's the actual Blender site. Not good. Let's see who we've got in here.
So, you're pretty comfortable with UV mapping, but you want to add a few more 60 seconds that every UV mapper needs to know. Alright, let's do this. If you have multiple simple objects, UV edit mode, in object mode, press A to select all, go to edit mode, press U, and check live unwrap. And on the left side, click UV sync selection. Go to UV, pack islands, and look at that. All the UVs for our objects have been nicely separated automatically. Now, this works great for basic shapes, but it starts to work less and less the more unique your objects are, so be careful. Now, if you have multiple objects, there's something you can do called island
This guy's
stacking.
excited.
For example, you can see here that I have 2 objects in my group that are exactly the same. If you would prefer not to delete them and mirror later, you can instead grab one of their maps and move it directly onto the other map. If you press G and use the arrow keys, you'll be able to move things 1 pixel at a time for more accurate control. Now, when you draw on this map, both of these objects will be affected. If you ever find yourself wanting to select the opposite of what is currently selected, go to the left under select and click invert, and it will select the opposite of what you currently have. And that's it. Those are the last 3 tricks that I thought everyone should know. Hope that helps. Thank you so much.
Oh my god. I guess I'm not gonna get any answers for this.
Hey guys, welcome back to the first CG Matter default cube tutorial. I'm gonna make you the now all we have to, the abdomen is what we'll call it. Has this just called the checker set that we can see what.
Again, just like skim the UVs completely. I just need Blender UV.
So you can see it's flat,
UV
but over
2.8.
here you have this kind of weird distortion thing going on. It really isn't.
They're automatically. Get to my the viewport.
That's
The
the
square
same guy I just saw.
Welcome to the 6th with the 3D model, so you won't see of one. You can see we have a model. We only see unwrap the model. Please this loop over here and distance. And over here, if I disable this again, we have some options to select, and for example this over here allows us
what's
to
this
simply
unwrap
with
thing
left
he's
click
got?
select.
How did he get that? That's what I need. He's got edit mode and UVs.
And now press Alt H to unhide the apple. Now we need to start the unwrapping process. For that, important, we need to select everything with the A in edit mode, and then we go to UV and simply click on unwrap.
Okay.
You can see
Up here. Okay, I see it now. I see it now. Hey, we're finally there. Finally got a workflow that's half decent. Right. Now, in order to know the uprightness of stuff, and also if I want to pick UV island, can I pick a UV island? Blender select UV island, that will be a good search. It's all about the terminology. How to select a UV island? How? Control L. Make some seams. Press L. No. L does nothing. L does nothing. So what is that function called? Control L. Does nothing. Let's also do a search by the last month. Maybe the last year. What? Select mesh select boundary loop. How did you get that menu? What the heck? Tab. Select. What was it called? Select boundary loop. The fuck? Help. Drowning in blender juice. Well, it seems Blender UVs really suck. Really suck. Really suck. Unless I can figure it out. Scene from Shift G. Select scene. Textiles. Select similar scenes. Most of my days spent looking for UV Island selection. Sad, very sad. I'm kind of disappointed that Blender does not have this feature. Now, if I choose this and do up, nothing happens. If I choose here and do up, chooses that. So if I choose yeah, I think at this point Blender's not actually doing a good job of giving me what I want. In fact, it's been a bit annoying now, and you know, I do have to kind of live with it. If anybody's only using Blender, I feel sorry for you right now, because trying to get it to rotate, okay, trying to get it to do everything that you want isn't simple. But that will be that way then. Okay. Right. But we're going to figure this out. A ton of snapping. We're going to work with what we've got. Imagine this is all you have. Your life is very sad and empty, and all you have is Blender. Blender's your only friender. And then we're going to do it this way. It's this way, or the piss way. Okay, that's the legs. What is this part? The arm. Which part of the arm? That is the inside, so that's upside down, I think. We'll just choose these. That is there. And let's choose that. That is up there, and there is okay. So I'm going to rotate. I just want to rotate things until they kind of make sense visually. And this is very long-winded. You know, that's probably why you wouldn't come out of Maya or Max. It's so long-winded. So I'm kind of just been complaining about how shit Blender's UV stuff is, as I realised how much of a ball ache it is to select these islands. And even though you can choose one face and do the up arrow, it chooses a whole bunch of other stuff. Maybe control up, I don't know, maybe try some combos. Down, page up, page up, page down. Plus, what am I doing? Plus, minus, no. Control, shift, no. So, yeah, double click just selects this, and I guess, you know, you can do that until you've selected it all, I guess. But it's not convenient at all. And I'm just manually packing stuff so everything's upright. That's the way I like to work. Rotate your bus. Okay, so this is the head. That's the back. That is the front. Yep. Now the hand's all stretched to crap, so I'm going to definitely chop this up some more. Let's do that now. Edges. Do that side as well. And you go up here and do the pack thing. Right. And then I can scale that down or whatever. Right, that looks better. That edge could probably be joined again. Sorry, this is super boring, guys. If you want to leave, that's fine. If you want to stay and learn super awesome Blender, that's also fine. If you want to give me all your money, that's also cool. If you want to throw a party and invite me, that is also pretty cool. I will get pretty blitzed. If you want to dance on a table, yeah, that's also amazing. If you want a 3D model an imaginary cat, also cool. You can do all these things because you're amazing and you know Blender. And you can come and Blender with me. We can have a Blender party. That's that bit. Aye, aye, aye. So the only thing I don't like is it doesn't have any UV island selection yet. And is the pisser in the pan. Piss in the pan. So if you ever work for a big studio and they say, do you know Blender? You can say, yeah, I know Blender and I know how shit the UV editor is. And they'll say, good, you're using it and we're going to pay you £10 per hour to use it. And you'll be like, awesome. That's exactly the amount of money that I can work for. And believe you me, I've actually done that because I was an idiot. That's right, folks. I worked for £10 per hour using Blender because I was an idiot. I actually saw it as a learning chance, opportunity, you would call it. Yeah. Chance to learn Blender and how awesome it might be. But it turned out to be a bit crappy and it's not changed very much. Still a bit crappy. Question is, do I like the scale these up so I can see what's happening with the texels, the texels? Yeah, they're okay. They're fine. They'll work. They'll survive. Thanks for the £50 donation from Anonymous. I really enjoy getting money. It makes me happy, but it doesn't make me good at Blender any better, so stop giving me money. I'm not going to be inclined to do more Blender videos after this. I just want to know the bare minimum to get by before someone asks me, how do I use Blender? And I'll be like, well, I'll tell you how I use Blender. I don't. That's how much I use Blender. Get it? Got it. Good. I would not use Blender in any way, shape or form. I'd rather use ZBrush's modeler tools, to be honest. And, you know, their UV stuff. But when it comes to painting, then I guess you could subdivide the crap out of your mesh. Now, how am I going to choose this? I'm going to have to use select box, select lasso or whatever. Let's tweak. Yeah, it breaks it away. I don't understand why it breaks it away. Select lasso, I guess will work. Look at that. Genius. Now we want to pack this without rotations. Do you think we're going to get a pack without rotations here? Let me just save this first. Right, so we're going to choose everything and do a UV pack. Yeah, it must be in here. UV pack islands. Oh, it rotated everything. Don't have options to like not rotate and stuff. Alright, we can't pack without rotations or any cool stuff like what normal 3D applications do. We can't select UV islands like normal 3D applications do. We can't just choose a face and move it like normal 3D applications do. There's a lot of things that we just can't do, right? So that's what you pay for. You pay nothing, you get literally not very much, and you know, we're expecting all the, you know, the Blender developers to make cool stuff like that. But you know, what you get for free is not too bad. Look at all the frames per second wasted on doing this double outline here. What's the point in that? Look, 24 frames per second. What's this number? It's going up and up and up. Oh, let's reset itself. I know what that is. I have no idea. Right. So in terms of UV scale, this is way too big. Zeros are too big now. Because I was checking them. Let's do there. Right, I'm going to use the pen because I think I'll be a bit faster with that. Blender's good for free, but it's not good for the industry. It's not industry ready by a long shot. At 2.9, the UV system sucks. The sculpting stuff is okay, I'll give it that. It's actually better than I thought. Yeah, the most annoying bit is like I can't just choose that island. It's super annoying that I can't just choose that island. There must be a way to choose it. And people are saying it's L over the thing, but it's not. And there's no option like shell, nothing, shell or island. There's no real option. If there is, it's using the wrong terminology, and that's no good. Are you ready for Blender? Are you ready? Are you ready for Blender? I mean, so far Blender's done everything I've asked. So, does that make it good? No. It makes it stable, but unable. But you know, I'm working with what I've got, and that's what a lot of people might be doing. It's just working with what they've got. Like for example here, right, if I want to select this, it's easy if I can select this dot, right, but if it was sitting there like that, how am I going to deselect this? Huh? I can do this and then grow it, but what happens is it chooses a whole bunch of neighbouring stuff. So how am I supposed to select this UV shell? Does anybody know? Does anybody care? Is there anybody here who plays Blender, the game? Anybody? First Killer, get affiliated now, let's do the streamers, Lux, My Gut, Rubber Slayer, or Saddest Kitty? Does anyone know how to fix that, apart from zooming the fuck in until you can see it and then guess which one it is? Is it this one? No. It's that one. Or you can choose it like that. Oh, you know, problem solved. That's everything my whole life is now. Amazing. Check that out. I managed to select them. So stupid, really. You know, selecting UV island is like standard practice. Right, and the annoying thing is I want to keep everything upright, and I can't fit everything in because I am also struggling with that. Maybe I just want to make everything symmetrical. So I want to get rid of like half of the mesh, right? I can do that now, right? I can do that later, whatever. Right, but I've got all the UVs in place. I should now save that, and then go back to here and look for an on. I only want to do half the mesh, so I'll just do the X-ray like this, delete faces. Yeah, that's also stupid. Like, I don't want a menu to come up to delete. I'm on face mode. I'm on face mode, so I do want to delete the faces. Come on, man. Like, learn from other tools if you've even bloody looked at them. Right. So now I'm just going to use half of the UVs. Let's go back to this and move things into a squarish formation. Because at the end of the day, we don't need to worry about like doing the other side. We just need to see one and then paint and let it do its thing. Just fit everything in somewhere. Very forgivable software because it's free. If it wasn't free, man, people would be so upset. People are already upset. Right, let's move this guy down here. I'm losing a bit of definition, I don't want to lose that. Okay, let's scale it all up. Scale it, please. Move it into place. Right, let's use this space a bit better. Anybody just joining the stream and asking, is that the only way to select this stuff? Yes, it is. It's utter bollocks. Come on, fit in there or something. This is actually making me feel like it's the first time I've touched 3D. It's a little bit upsetting. Because I'm showing you guys like my lacking skill right now. And it's hurting my feelings a bit. Especially some of your crazy comments about how good Blender is. So yeah, come and watch me try Blender. put my camera on so you can see how I'm miffed I am, if it'll let me. Video capture, display capture, video capture. I don't think it's actually letting me do it. Of course, something else is maybe using it. That one. That one. No, no, it's not allowing it. Anyway, you have to see my pretty face. I just don't think anybody appreciates Blender enough. It's the best software ever. How could you not like it? Oh, Blender, just rotate the thing. What you need is a quick 90-degree rotation button. My skills are deteriorating as I use Blender. I have no idea what's happening. Stop, Dave. My power is going. Literally, that's how I feel using Blender. So, if you've just joined the stream, this is my first ever time actually using Blender to do a character from scratch. I'm working on this little concept guy. I've basically put in these seams and got some UV islands, and Blender doesn't let me select the UV islands unless you guys out there know a better way. But yeah, kind of struggling with it. Got a whole lot of wasted UV space here as well. Do you know what? Maybe I'll make a weapon for him later and I'll use up that space. Why not? Right, that's going to do it because I don't want to spend all day in this UV editor. It's free, of course it's free. That's what makes it so amazing. The fact that you can't do anything. Like, do you know how to select a UV island? Maybe there's a preferences, key binding name, UV island or island something, or shell. See, the terminology is not there. I don't know. UV editor, where are you? Navigation, input, editing, whatever. Anyway, I've managed to get some half decent UVs for this guy. I want to be able to paint him in Blender now, so I've done the model, used the sculpt room to fix them up a bit, and I think now that I've done the UVs, I can close that window. UV edit, I'll just go back to modeling. Okay, let me just check that it's still good. Okay. Nope, no way to select them. Yeah, I was just basically lasso selecting, and it's weird because when you like choose a face, it separates it, but yet when you choose an edge, it kind of behaves. So I guess the only way to move a face is to choose two edges, but it selects the other bit, and I know there's some weird way to fix that somewhere. I've seen it before, and some sort of option, but I don't know. I really don't think it makes it easy to find these things. Right, I'm going back to modeling, and let's do a modifier, mirror, y-axis, and there's our dude. Back to object mode, and let's see, can we paint? Texture paint. Okay. Oh. Okay. Let's paint over that then. What about like projection painting? What's this do? What's that? What does that do? I think we need a quick tutorial. Blender texture painting.
This tutorial series is brought to you by
Good.
Polygon. Owner, it definitely opportunity image. However, it could get texture whenever. Let me turn on, make sure our blend file. There we go. Now, if we go back to our texture paint tab, you should see that they would be linked and color. So this color is obviously going to go into our base color. Good idea to do that. Always get into the habit of doing that. Image, save at. And then you're going to lose any change. Let me turn on, because we don't want just like second.
All right, I get it. I think I was doing the right thing. Now just carry on. What's that saying? Use something stencil. Okay. What about fill bucket? What's this do? Is that blur? Fill? Ah, okay. Right, let's go for the skin tone. That's close enough. Another thing I need to fix is the smoothing. So let's go back to modeling. I'm just going to apply the modifier. Okay. And then Shade smooth. Okay, and I'll just make a few things different. Edges. Must admit, it's not that bad for my first model in Blender so far. The modelling side wasn't bad. What? I was hoping that would just work. Mesh, shading, sharp edge, mesh. Is there something like unlock normals? No, maybe shading, sharp edges, flat faces, choose faces and shading faces. Okay. Let's just do these ends because we're getting a whole lot of smooth shading on the hands. I've just noticed an issue here. I don't actually have a cut. Hopefully that's not destroyed the universe. Let me just check his UVs. UV editing. That's fine. Okay. I don't see this dude being too hard surfacey. Maybe there's like a chamfer up here that kind of is, but I'll just need to try convey all that through the lighting. And the rest is fine. Yeah, that'll do it. Save that. And let's go back to texture paint. I guess I need a new texture or something. Let's check that video again. Blender painting. Open Blender, input 3D, and you want to paint. Want to texture paint if you don't already have a 3D one in.
Hello there, my name is Ismail, and welcome to another Blender Daily Tip, and today we're going to be looking at
I like how his edges look chamfered like that. How did...
I just want to do your surface, and therefore give it
Ah, subdivision.
there, and then give
You
it
cheated.
don't have a lot of saves, I'm just select add a mark. So material print
Just need to test everything's working. Shift to smoothing. No, oh, that's gonna. Oh, the smoothing is really slow. What about the smudge? Smudge is not bad. Ugh. Smooth is really slow though. Right. I'm not sure if this will save. So image, save as Rhino dude, Rhino texture. And let's just check that out. I'll just wait for my Windows to malfunction a little bit, as it does when you right click. It just freezes up for about 20 seconds. Ugh. Thanks, Washpup. How are you today? Hope you're feeling good with the sun being out and all that. I know that I'm kind of trying to stay away from the sunshine. Don't want to get used to it in case it goes away again, which it often does. Right, let's see, texture file. Take a while to load because again it's Windows being pretty crap. Ah yeah, okay, it's fine. Right, we even have a little tiny bit of edge padding. I wonder if there's an option for that. Maybe, because I'd like it to be infinite. Blender. Sure, edge padding. Texture paint and margin size. Project paint. It's called bleed. Okay, so it must be in our painting room. Oy, 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 oy. There we go, bleed. Set that to 64 pixels. And I guess if I fill the object again, yeah, we get much more edge bleed this time. Cool. 64 is a bit high. Let's just do 32. Fill. Oh, whatever. I'm just filling the whole lot. Yeah. Alright. What about projecting texture over it? Blender, painting, project texture. Mm-hmm. see what I've got. Let's try this. Doesn't mean I can paint with this now. Brush. Definitely not brushing with the texture. Alright, most of this painting is going to be really difficult if I can't project anything. What about picking colours? Nope. It's fine at drawing over seams, so that's good. Just can't seem to pick a colour. Oops. V. No, that's view. Blender, color pick, and painting mode. This is painful. Alright, there's a color picker thing. I guess this. Okay, make do with that. It's pretty hellish. Just blocking some rough colours here and there. This is not the ideal workflow that I was hoping for. Sun is strong, will go out when cooler, working on global ban system at the moment. Nice. Got to ban everyone globally. Ban everyone in the world. All at the same time. Just ban them all. I'm going to block in some shapes to show where things are. So we got something here, something there. The painting seems quite nice. It's using pen pressure at least. Oh, what's going on there? What? You know what that is? That's the size of the brush leaking into another UV island. That's got to be. Let me check my UVs. It's not like it's even close to it. It's like painting here, it's catching that bit. That's correct, that's what it should be doing, but when I click here, I get it here as well. So, yeah. Does that mean I'll never be able to fix that unless I go a really small brush or fix it manually in here? Which I guess I'll need to do is just paint in here what I want. So I guess that's the workaround. Bit here, and then a bit in there. Ban them all. Ban all the Blender users. The reason I'm learning this is because we might be teaching it at uni. That's going to be fun. Indeed. Yes, indeed. Let's see, I'll improvise the back. Just all the way up. shoulder stuff here. I must admit though, Blender's done a good job with cycles and EV and all the other stuff, but they have just neglected their UV editor and their texture paint stuff. You know, the sculpting thing is fairly new, so I think, I mean, I can see Blender becoming a paid thing later. The amount of work. I mean, if it's still going to be open source, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, I wish Shift would be smooth, but it's not. That one's quite slow. See the frame rate dropped big time there. Well, it kind of becomes unstable, I think. Nah, I lied, but it's pretty bad. It's painting in the ear and everything. How the fuck are you meant to use this? Is this nonsense? I see people painting in this and it's like, oh, it's super easy, it's so nice to just paint. But it's just, do you know what it might be? It might be that edge padding. Could be that edge padding. Where is that? Let's change that to like 4. Alright, that seems to maybe have fixed it. Well, we'll never replace industry standard stuff. I think what they want to do is just have everyone have a knowledge of a backup piece of software in case you know, there's an apocalypse and only Blender will run on machines, or Autodesk will become corrupt, both in real life and file, or we just can't get access to the license data and people need to model stuff. That's probably more likely the reason. And when people leave uni, they want to have like another option. So it makes sense to have a bit of Blender experience. I think I've fixed the issue. I think it was the edge padding or something was too high. You can see it's doing its own edge padding as you paint. So let me locate where I doodled there. There, right. So as I paint here, let's do a really big brush. And that's not going anywhere else. The problem was the edge padding. If I make that really high, or the bleed they call it, so if I make that 64, yeah, it's reaching over this and it's way up here as well. But that's what that is. Nice bug. Awesome. So I'm just blocking in some big old colours to figure out where everything goes, then I'll fix it up a bit later. And I guess I can paint in this area once I'm happy, instead of going into Photoshop. So everything looks ugly as crap right now. If you've just joined the stream and you've seen something really ugly, please stay. This is going to turn out so good after about 3 days of painstaking work using Blender. That's devotion for you guys. I'm devoted to learning Blender for my students. It's going to take all day. Where's the options gone? Color, where are you? So I'm figuring out Blender as well as trying to figure out everything else. In fact, I'm going to change the material so I don't see any shine. Where's this material? Roughness. Normal. This one. Okay, that's better. What I really don't like is the fact you can't colour pick. What's that? Painting. You can't colour pick directly from here. There is no colour picker. There is no colour picker. There is no colour picker. Three-day stream, indeed. Just trying to find the colour picker, 3 days. There is no colour picker. Where's the pipette? Where's the little doohickey? Can't even drag it off or nothing. There's got to be a colour picker. And you know, it calls this the colour picker. This is the colour palette. This is a colour wheel. It's, you know, it's not got the right terminology or nothing. Blender colour pipette, just to be super politically correct. Eyedropper, that's what I mean, the eyedropper. Where's the eyedropper? Where is the eyedropper? Blender 2.9 eyedropper. Super duper. Can anyone see the eyedropper? Can you see the eyedropper from there, Jay? What's this new palette? No, we don't need new palettes. Wow. Blender 2.8 eyedropper. Where are you? Can't seem to fix eyedropper shortcut. Oh, there's a shortcut. Ah, we can do it through preferences. Let's check that out. 3D view, image paint, sample color, sample color. Oh, it's I. I'm not going way over to I. C is what I'm going to use. And is that it? Yay! 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 Now I can finally make a masterpiece. Ah, there we go. Right. Can I pick from anywhere though? Can I pick like another document? Nope. That's too bad. That's too bad. Oh, I feel like a child trying to do 3D stuff. This is painful. Oh my god. This is gonna take too long. This is just gonna, nobody's gonna pass their exams at this rate. They'll be stuck in Blender trying to paint. Oh my. And I'm an idiot for trying to sort of pursue this. I really am. Why am I doing this to myself? Right, what other brush options have I? Stroke, spacing, jitter, fall off. These actually go round to the front like that. Yeah, why is it just rubbish? Why is it near anything? Why have they got all this menu here as well? Like you're in a paint mode. You should have, I don't know. This should all just be extra stuff. I'm not going to tell Blender how to make it itself. But it should just be better. This is horrific right now. The stage of this dude is horrible. Ugly phases. Because you know, just can't be able to pick colours, and now I need to find where the hell it was. What's this? Oh, I can do little store colours. Okay, that's handy. Do that one. Let's try and make some sensible palette. Yellowish. The light bluey tone. The red star. Some grey highlight. Brownish, like a burgundy. There we go. Right, I can use that to ID everything. Oh, and there's a kind of greeny blue for the trousers. Oh, this is going to be extremely difficult. Look at the state of this. Right. Should we start again? Let's start again. I've made a complete mess. Start again, the whole thing. Everything. I'm joking. Just that. I mean, that. Yeah. Right. Cool. We're just going to block in the areas first. Oh, back to that. That yellow I cannot see very easily. I'm going to make that brighter. Right, on the face we got it about, it goes over the ear, down there somewhere, down like that, and then overlaps itself somewhere here. We got this kind of nice collar, goes up to the back. It's kind of padded looking. Okay, and then it kind of comes over the shoulder. Of course, none of this makes sense in 3D bit to this guy, but I just need to try my best. So actually way over here somewhere. And shoulder pad thing. Oh god, I'm losing it. Where am I? That's that goes up there. Something like that. And let's just kind of erase some bits out. Horribly, terribly messy to start with, and then probably about 4 hours of cleaning it up once I've got a few base tones down. It's not, definitely not the choice tool for painting. Let's kind of say these do that at the back. But improv. There's something there like that, maybe. I'm kind of like worried that if I do a good job, people will think Blender's good. But when I tell people like this guy took 3 days to make in Blender, they'll cough up their dinner twice. So should I do a really shit job of it and just tell like the senior lecturers to not use it? Or hope that they come out with an amazing update? Alright, I'm gonna define some edges. Oh, he's not rotating the way I want him to. Because I'm used to ZBrush or 3D Coat, yeah, it's a bit different. Best circle ever. It looks kind of cute like that. Hello. Save that. I don't want to lose all the work. Just checking for this stuff. Cool. Nobody in the rooms. Okay, I'm just checking for the Discord activities, but we're good. Right, and then the red star. Something like that. Okay, back to that. And then this bit's really kind of off big time. I think this is much bigger. It sits right about there. It's taking shape at least, you know, it's finding a good method inside. Imagine Blender was the only tool for doing 3D in the world. That's kind of the way I'm trying to think. And just, you know, trying to remember back in 1996, basically, when we never had all this stuff. This would have blown my mind. So I'm just pretending it's 1996. That's all I need to do is just do that, and Blender's awesome. Drop bears, yeah, definitely little drop bears. Pew, pew, pew. Good idea. Good idea. How did that yellow manage to change colour? Oh, it makes a new colour. I'm confused. I don't know. And the way I'm going to paint all of this is, yeah, I'm going to like paint in the highlight and this sort of bounce light here and this little bounce light here, because I think a lot of that is what's going to give this shape. So like there'll be a little highlight like that. Maybe I want to keep it more to the middle because it's symmetry. And then I'll do a little kind of highlight down here, and then a little bit of blue there, and maybe kind of a darker sort of tone like that. And then when I get this, I can kind of like smudge bits around. Now, I'm not too sure how this brush is actually working strength wise. I guess there's some options here, but I don't know. See, it's a little bit streaky. You know, that would be a base, then I go over it 2 or 3 times with the same process. Right, let's see, a bit more padding there. It's more kind of up and smaller like that. And it's a different kind of brown. It's more rich, reddish brown, like that. I want to make that really easy to see, so make it a bit brighter. I think it goes all the way around the back, it's just the way that it looks, that it maybe goes to the bottom or something, but all the way around with this. Now eventually, when all of this is painted, I could basically just work in Photoshop. I mean, how much would you texture completely in Blender? You'd have to be using it an awful lot, I think. It's not bad, but it's not brilliant either. There's a lot better options out there. How many toes I'm giving him? I think I gave him too many. I'm just like marking in some of the areas and then, you know, just use that smudge sort of. Definitely not finished like that though, like that's not a good finish. That's just a start. So if ever you're doing like painting stuff, just, you know, gradually build it up. I'm just laying in some marks. Strength, radius, blend, mix. Sure. Brush stroke, spacing. Doesn't feel like the brush is very strong. Like the opacity or something. Ah, okay, strength 5. There we go. I guess 2 is enough then. I just noticed these up here actually. Texture map, texture mask. Just noticed all this. What does this one do? Oh, okay. Then how do you set that? Interesting, but also completely useless because it I paint in white, what do I get? I get weird colours. Yeah, pass. This is what I mean. What about the alpha? it's gradually taking shape. So I'm a little bit happier with it. Scribbling in some shading here and there now. And this kind of brick effect on the chest is like super awesome. It's gonna take a long time to make that, but I'll just kind of dash in some shapes or something. Something like that, right? Of course, it all gets a bit weird now. So this bit comes over, goes down, kind of covers that bit up a bit, makes its way down here, somewhere a bit there. I'm going to go to here. And then I'm going to make this bit bigger. You know, of all the things that I've tried to do this year that are different, this has got to be the icing on the cake. You know, from working on Blip Paint to all sorts of stuff and trying out new workflows, this has got to be the icing on the cake. Yeah. It's not really working, so I'm gonna have to exaggerate what's happening here a different way. Just trying to get some shape language into it. Something like that. Get rid of this. This is actually baked lighting, you know, on the shoulders and stuff, but yeah, that's it's up to you whether you add these sort of things. I want to do it because I want to match the concept piece. I'm trying to find colour where there isn't colour, so I can see browns and stuff in here, and reds and purples and things. And by the time I blend all this together, it's going to look great. So let's do that now. Put strength down a bit. You know, just the direction that I move the brushes. Interesting shapes, but I also want to try and make it make sense. You know, kind of going with the angles. I've noticed it's not actually doing the this here is pen pressure. I just automatically clicked it thinking that it never had it, and it does, so that's cool because that will help. This is much more like an greyish tone. Just noticed this is all looking a brown leather. I was thinking it was like a skin tone for a while, but looking at it more, it's got more kind of browns like leather in there. Let's just go for a leathery tone. I'm replacing those. That's dumb. Another finding about Blender's inability to be intuitive. probably hear the noise outside. There's kids playing about because it's sunny. They're loud. They're a bit loud. It's good to know the microphone works. I was worried for a while that everything was dead silent. Yeah, if you can hear them, then it's definitely working. Again, I'm trying to look for colour that isn't there. It is there, but you know, I'm trying to look for more colour, like bits of yellow, bits of grey. Just get a nice kind of mix. I think that's the bit where the clip is, roughly. It's not one-to-one this, it's just rough enough to work. Just I'm not a million miles out, so that's fine. What? Why don't tags work? Tags don't work. And Twitch is another thing that's getting updated. I've not seen it change that much in a long time. Okay, this and Interesting the way it just stops dead at the edges and doesn't go round. Fall off, that's what that might be. Normal angle fall off. If I make that really low, would that then go round the no, it doesn't want to do it. It's quite interesting that it does that. I don't like that. Don't like that at all. Don't use clipping. Yeah, there's no way about that. I think the only thing that separates good artwork from bad artwork is the amount of time that you put into it, and you know that obviously depends on your speed overall, and that depends on your experience overall. So as you get better at this kind of thing, you will, you get faster, your quality level will improve, your techniques will, improve. So, but I mean, a lot of the work still takes a long time, and I guess as your quality control increases, things are going to take longer anyway. So think of it this way: when you start out doing textures and learning 3D stuff, you're going to be really slow at the start. You're not going to have a lot of high standard quality control, but you might be learning from a tutorial or trying your best to replicate something that you're looking at, but with time that gets better, and people are going to look at that work and know roughly how much time's been put into it. Unless you're kind of new to it, then you're going to think everything looks great, or you don't do art at all, then everything really does look great. But it depends on your critical eye. You might have someone who's a non-artist but really critical about how something looks. Now, if you look at this ear, you'll see that it's got a kind of grey brown here, but then it's a bit more brighter in this point. And I guess that could be a little bit of bounce light getting there, or light passing through. So it's a nice thing to like pay attention to, and also let the colour change from the light hitting the back here to it going grey here. A lot of that I want to incorporate, but I'm introducing new colours each time. Like I wouldn't see this as grey, I'd more likely see it as this kind of purple. because I try to stay away from grey tones. Maybe that's too strong a purple, but if I saturate it a bit, darken it, I'll get to something that's a little bit closer. And then a bit brighter, and mix it all up together later. You know, you get interesting texture from it. Any bad bits can be fixed in detail once you get to that stage. You've passed the whole model in the same sort of level of detail. You can then go down to this sort of level of detail and start fixing bits. Just picking the colours that are there, working with them. So all I'm really doing at this point is giving myself a bit of a colour palette nearby that I can use. See, I'm starting to think about the folds. So I'm just going to remind everyone how bad Blender is, just in the meantime, and not to use it for anything ever. To be honest, the painting side's not much different from anything else I've used to paint. It's going to take a long time to get through this dude. I may come back to it later. Maybe when there's a Blender update, I'll come back to it. But I feel I'm losing my fan base. I wonder how many people have unfollowed me in the past 6 hours. Well, I've not gained any, so it's not all bad. Oh. What part of the colour are you? What? It's malfunctioned now. It's not picking the right colour. Pick that colour. Okay. Sometimes I really do wonder. So you pick a colour and then it kind of just goes a bit weird. Goes back to, I don't know what it's doing anymore. I think it's had it. I think it's been trying too hard lately, and now it's had it. Everything is just so much manual labour to get it to do what other stuff does really well, and it's painful. But I can no longer really pick the colours. I think it's just the way I'm using it, maybe. Yeah, it must be that. I'm pressing C, then pressing, but you can see if you hold down C, it's actually picking already. It's my fault. My fault. But still Blender's fault for being rubbish. Blame Blender. Blame the default cube. Plugins would definitely solve it. I would love a whole lot of plugins, but the purpose of this is to show how amazing Blender is without plugins. I need to big up Blender in some way. You know, it's industry ready. We should be teaching this in universities. What do you think? Without plugins, because if somebody doesn't have a plugin or even know about the plugin, they're gonna be like, no one told me, that's why I failed. And everyone will get sued for not telling this kid about the plugins. But it would definitely solve a lot of problems. I've seen one or two. I've seen like a texture tool one. I think it's text tools, and it looks similar to what Max has. 3ds Max has these text tool things. And they can be useful. Smudge. Sketch and smudge. It's basically scribble and smudge, and then tidy it up. That's the way to go. So this is still a very sketchy stage. Gradually just trying to find some detail. from a distance so far he's looking kind of cool, but definitely not finished. Nowhere near finished, like 10% finished. Still a lot of shadows and highlights to get to at the end as well. It's a lot of work. But you know, if I was to just give up on this, that all that work would just be wasted. If I can finish this, then you know, I can use this guy or get more likes, become famous for my Blender awesomeness, and be hired by Blender Studios Incorporated to work on the next big movie. Who knows? All sorts of opportunities lay ahead with Blender. You see me in the cover of Time magazine with my Blender application. I'm just wondering why it's so dark. You know, it's not showing me the actual white tones. I don't have any lights in the scene, but yet can't see the brightest whites. Maybe. Color management, exposure. Gamma. Indirect lighting. No idea. Just can't seem to get the colours I want. Let's see, Photoshop, Blender, make scene brighter. In the Blender window, go to the lamp tab. Oh, I should have it see brighter. actually need the camera. It's more to do with the viewport. Viewport. Preferences. Viewport. View size. Alright, I think I'll probably finish painting inside 3D coat because this is taking too long and I can't see the full range of colours, and also it's mapping the texture, which I don't like. I like it to stay unfiltered. So maybe there's an option here, but I'm not going to spend too much time inside this, but I'll come back to this another day as well. I don't want to spend all evening working on this tech here, but I proved the point of it's easy enough to make a model. The UVs don't, the UV editor is pretty bad. Thanks man, thanks Hushpup. Not the most liberating experience, but yeah, definitely okay. And I think maybe Blender 3 would be the one to look out for, because hopefully they've done all the things they need to change by then. But yeah, let me bring this into 3D Coat just to see how it looks. So I'm going to save it and export FBX. Rhino Dude, yeah. Export FBX, maybe I can attach the texture. Don't need animation. Sure. Yeah, let's do export FBX, and also the texture might need exported, so let's be sure to do that. How's that done again? Image, save as. Let's try it again. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay, so 3D Coat, let's see here. Still prefer Maya and other tools for stuff. I think Maya maybe has good painting tools. Texture painting, Maya. I wonder. Yeah. Can paint in there. Alright, I'm going to import for painting. Keep UV 2K, and then I need to import the texture. There we go, so now I can see much better what's happening. And I can also make the textures unfiltered. I can see like every individual pixel pretty much. So yeah, already like being in here is such a relief to my brain, because I know exactly what I'm gonna get when I start painting. Yeah, and everything else just works the way it's supposed to. So that's the smudge. Yeah, all the smudging works just the same. And the good thing is I can sync with Photoshop as well from here. That's it, very high strength. one. You've got your layers. That smudge is being a bit of a weird one. Yeah, don't like the smudge anymore. I'll use Photoshop for that anyway. But I'm gonna go and set up some dinner now for later. I'll come back to this, so I'll save this as Rhino Dude. New painting. And you get to see how cool this is. You can see the geometry doesn't hold too well, the shape at the front there, or I just need to do a little bit of editing to the, in fact that looks really off. That's like a texture correction issue. Now I'm wondering why that's done that. It could be the triangles have been reversed. So that's what I was talking about earlier about triangulation. So you can see how different that looks. It looks straight here. Now if I was to add a triangulation modifier, triangulate, you can see what it's done. So that's what's happened, is Blender doesn't even know its own triangulation method, and it's triangulated it differently through this editor, which is bloody stupid if you ask me. And oh, if I change that to 5, it fixes itself. Oh, that's interesting. Is that because it's no longer got edges? Yes. So there's a thing. Means I'd have to manually fix the triangulation, like I was talking about before. So that's annoying. That's really annoying, and that's put me right off Blender. Things like that. Well, I hope you enjoyed learning Blender with me today, and now I know for sure where the hurdles are, and I would let people model a base mesh in Blender, but definitely not do UV and definitely not texture. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching Hushpup, and I may come back to this midweek and continue painting inside 3D Co-op, but as you can see, some of the triangulation is messed up, and that will need that means this bit will need retextured to work with new triangulation. Cool. See you later.